Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dungeon Nytes, episode 7 of the Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign. Last week, the crew had to return back to East Haven with the sad news of the Bomber family. And upon kind of a bit of a testy situation at the White Lady Inn and some tense talks with the captain of the guard, Imdra, she directed them over next door to the town hall to go and have a conversation with kind of the main town kind of authority figure. So the party decided to make their way over there, and unfortunately, at the last moment, after walking in the door, a bounty hunter approached Teaca, asked to gaze upon her beauty, and then pulled out a wanted poster. And that's where we pick up this week. Oh, so come on now, dearie. Look, this is clearly you, and you're coming with me.
That's clearly. I mean, look at the nose shape's wrong. That one's kind of crooked, and mine's beautifully perfect. That's not me, and frankly, it doesn't make sense that it would be.
Oh no,
guys?
It does. This is you.
Okay.
I'm quite sure.
What do they want?
Let me start with the easy questions. Right? Where are you from, eh?
Never. Winter.
A bit south then.
But
Interesting.
no, that's definitely north. That's definitely north. East? Kind of east. Okay, what do they want it for? What do they do?
Oh, you know. what you
Hold
did.
on. Can I take a look at this poster?
Absolutely. Here you go. And he hands you the wanted poster with one hand, and in the second hand, he brings out a set of cuffs and slaps it on Teaca's wrist.
You can't just do that!
Oh,
That's
I
like-
absolutely can.
It's like
That's
illegal!
called being a bounty hunter. No, being illegal is what you did.
You can't. What did I do? I didn't do anything. I found out that the bombers were not there, and I came back and I told you guys. And okay, I may have lost a knife to a harpy, but I didn't kill a harpy. That's good, right?
Teaca,
sure you
dear, I
feel-
think at this moment, perhaps the less you say is the better. We'll get to the bottom of this.
I'm pretty sure
What
you
did
feel
I
very accomplished with
do?
your deeds. But the deeds that you're wanted for are for a different nature. Don't play coy, dearie. You and your sweet face and the rest of you. You know what you did.
You're cute, but I don't.
Ah, see? Won't work on me, though. I'm immune to such temptations.
I'm not a siren. I'm just a bard, and I make people happy, and I drink a lot of beer, but I don't do bad things. Okay, I did cheat on that one test, but I mean, the professor really wasn't really teaching us much, and so, I mean, is it really that surprising that I cheat? I'm not here because I cheated on that test, am I?
Estia, you look over the wanted poster a little bit closer, and you can see at the bottom what it says that Texie is wanted for.
Texie?
Mm-hmm.
Texie. What does it say?
It says wanted. Texie. Satyr. And swindler. Wanted alive for the fraternization with a Calamshin's concubine.
I'm not.
With a what?
A Calamshin. It's a wealthy nobleman.
Oh.
All
That
right.
means
Well,
sex with the nobleman,
well.
right?
First of all, this is Teaca. I don't know who this Texie might be, but not the same name at all. And then second of all, I don't even know who this wealthy person is. And I've been with Teaca ever since we've gotten here.
Yeah, but were you with her before she was in Neverwinter? I don't think so. And I also don't think that the name's all that different. Teaca, Texie, this is Icewind Dale, don't you know? Many people come up here to escape. You ain't escaping, dearie. You're coming with
The
me.
name sounds familiar, but it's not mine.
We're going.
I haven't had sex in like 6 months.
No, the timeline fits. Even better.
What?
Just keep talking.
Teaca, you need to be quiet. You're not helping.
Seriously though, let's go. We need to move on.
So 1 minute, sir. What was your name?
My name.
How do I know you're not just kidnapping me
Badge
because I'm a
number,
beautiful
preferably?
singer?
You want to know my name?
Yeah.
My name's Pietro.
And you a restaurant or whose authority?
I'm a bounty hunter working under the Sword Coast Bounty Guild.
So where is she to be taken to?
Well, I mean, given the fact there's 3 of you and only 1 of me, I'm not inclined to tell you where I'm taking her.
Well, since there is 3 of us and 1 of you, we may not be
You
inclined to let you
better.
take her at all.
Well, I don't know about that, sweetheart.
Roll for
And he-
initiative!
And he points over his shoulder to the guards that he was talking to. And there's 3 guards standing over in the corner, looking at you very intently with this fuss and ruckus going on. Yeah, I think you're getting the picture now, ain't you? This is the house of the law. I represent the law. You're new here. And good old Texie here is wanted for quite a pretty penny to the Callum Shan of Waterdeep.
Okay.
Oh, damn, I told you. Oh, well, it's not like you're going to stop me anyway.
So you would just walk around until you found one of her kind and scoop him off the street and call it good? As long as you get your reward, correct?
Excuse me. I only get the correct mark. And this picture fits that face like a button. The timeline fits. The whereabouts fit. She even tried to flirt with me a little. Figured that's what she would do.
I turned away
yes.
from you, good sir. You weren't that good looking, first of all. And second of all, why is it a bad thing to sleep with somebody? Who is this nobleman who would dare try to find some poor innocent satyr and bring her in?
Poor innocent satyr. You slept with the man's concubine. I mean, it's essentially his wife.
I mean, I do swing that way, but I definitely did not sleep
It's a
with any
betrayal of the
concubines.
highest order. Don't act all pious with me.
I didn't sleep with any concubines. It would have been a threesome, not a 2.
So Pedro, is that correct?
It's Pietro. Close enough.
Pedro. Okay. So if you do indeed represent the law, then what is the proper lawful channels to go through in order for Teaca to clear her name?
Well, when I take it down to Waterdeep, there's going to be a trial. Most likely a swift trial. And then, depending on the mood of the Callum Shan, typically, I mean, a beauty like you is probably something he's not going to waste. I can imagine some sort of indentured servitude.
Okay, well, you know what? It's fine. Take me there. Let him see that I've never seen this concubine in his entire life. The concubine will be like, I don't know her. And then we'll go on our merry way. We are trying to get home. I don't care about this.
Now, Pedro, would it be worth your while if perhaps we could help with this bounty you're looking to acquire?
Now, seeing as Orioles made it a bit difficult to get over the mountains, but not impossible for the right person.
Wait. Wait. Not
You
impossible.
lot don't seem like you have the 5,000 gold to even begin to cover the bounty. Not to mention my
Teaca, that must have been
reputation.
some concubine.
But we're in the. I couldn't have literally been me. I would have been dead, not born. Duh.
You can say whatever you want, but acting crazy is not going to change the fact that you did the deed.
Poppy,
And now
you
you're gonna pay the
obviously come from a family of money. You have that much money at home, right?
Well, yes, I do have money.
Take us south and we'll double it.
Teaca!
As much as I would love to believe the word of a swinging,
at her.
swindling satyr, I really don't believe you. And I think now it's time for us to probably get out of here. And he starts taking the chain on the cuff on Teaca's wrist.
Teaca, just keep your mouth shut and let us take care of this. You'll be fine.
And Teaca, you see the man snap his fingers, and all of a sudden you're lifted off the ground and it feels like someone has scooped you up and starts to walk towards the door.
Help.
Teaca, we'll help you. Just don't say anything more. You're gonna make it worse.
I never make it worse. I
It's
always
Pietro.
make it worse.
As Pietro opens up the door, he stops. He looks over his shoulder. And you can see over his shoulder that as he opens up the door, it's a whiteout outside.
We're
blizzard
going nowhere.
has
We're
rolled
going
in
nowhere.
to East Haven.
Unless you wanna die.
Teaca!
Unless you want.
Shh.
He looks over his shoulder again, shuts the door. Oi! God. By the authority of the Swords Coast Bounty Hunters Guild, I've remanded this woman into custody. She's of high import to the Gallum Shen of Waterdeep, and I need to sell to hold her until this blizzard blows over.
What?
Can you rustle me up for one? The guards kind of look over. Yep, right this way.
No, we're here to speak with Wylan. Wylan, and then shoot, what was her name? Indra. Indra will speak for me.
The guard just looks at you and looks away. Go tell Waylon yourself. Well, not you. The rest of you. This man is lawful authority, and it's going to be followed.
I hate all of you.
And over on the left side of the room, you see what previously looked kind of like just a flat part of the wall, kind of slides open and reveals a cell area. He pulls out some keys, unlocks the lock, pulls the cell open. And Teaca, as Pietro and whatever is carrying you walk into that room, you see that there are 4 cells against the kind of left side wall. They're not very big. They're maybe a good 6 feet wide by about 8 feet deep. There's a small little stone kind of outcropping that can be used as a bench or a bed, with no sheets, pillows, blankets, or anything. It's just cold. No windows, nothing. And you're carried inside, and the door shuts, and you feel yourself being lowered onto the ground. And you hear, now that you're all tucked in, Just sit tight. We'll be going to Waterdeep in no time. And you can see the Calamshan. He'll probably, want to keep you around. Don't worry about it. See ya. And he walks out of the cell. The guard closes the door behind him and locks it again. There's no one else in the cells around you. And then you see the sliding wall shut. And there is nothing but a small hanging lantern in there to give you light.
One here beside me. And she'll pull out one of her beers since they didn't take her bag, crack it open on her hoof, and just start drinking.
Pietro kind of gives the party a look. All right. I'm going to go bed down for the night. Hope you lot have a good one. Have fun trying to convince Waylon. She's a bit apprehensive right now. And he just walks out the door.
The lack of your guys' help is disturbing. Sorry, I'm gonna sell.
I mean, I offered to bribe the guy. What do you want? What do you want?
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Teaca's in a jail cell. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm Poppy's in shock. She's never been a part of anything like this. She just doesn't know what to do.
Right. Poppy's in shock. Drathar never talks. Let me guess. Estia has to figure out what to do. Fantastic.
Well, I'm thinking we need to go talk to the captain, Imdra. We need to talk to Imdra. Because this is I don't know.
Well, we're already on our way to talk to Speaker Waylon anyways. Might as well find out what he has to say about all of this.
That's true. Maybe he can offer a little bit of insight.
But did they say that Speaker Waylon is a she? Let's go speak to them and find out what they have to say.
Okay.
It's a start.
The guards are just standing outside the door. Again, you're kind of on the opposite end of the room, and the only way forward for you is a door on the right-hand side that says administration.
Well, let's go knock on the door.
After you, beauty before age.
Rathar, are you coming?
I guess I'll come.
How nice for you to join us.
Well, I wasn't going to stop that. That was entertaining. I don't feel like going in jail myself.
You walk
I'm good.
through
Go
the
ahead.
administration door, and you see a kind of a rather, a decent sized room, and it kind of is partitioned off not very far, and you see a desk that is made of what looks like a very dark wood, and it kind of goes in an L shape from the wall and kind of curves down half the length of the room. And there's an older man with glasses, kind of ruffled hair, sitting there scribbling in what appears to be some kind of files. And behind him you can see there's a large kind of stack of cubbies that all seem to have some type of paperwork in them. Yes. Can I help you?
Hello,
Please?
are you Speaker Waylon?
No, I'm not Speaker Waylon.
Is
My
he
name
here?
My name is Nims.
Or is she here? Are they here?
Is the speaker expecting you?
We were sent from Lady Imdra.
Lady Indra. It's been a long time since someone's called her lady. Yeah. Let me check the schedule for the speaker. And he pulls out this large tome from underneath the desk and opens it up. Starts flipping some pages. He puts his finger about halfway down, adjusts his glasses. Yeah, it appears the speaker's busy until next week. Would you like me to pencil you in?
Well,
So I think as Tia's just fed up again, no surprise, at this point, and getting a little impatient. So them throwing one of her party members in jail didn't help her mood. So she's gonna walk up to this desk covered with papers, I think you said, and she's just gonna grab her great axe. She's gonna slam it down on the desk and be like, "Listen, we were sent from Lady Imdra, and we need to talk to Speaker Waylon now."
You see, I need you to give me a roll. Are you trying to intimidate Nims?
I mean, I think that's a fair yes.
Roll an intimidation. I want to see this.
Okay. Going to get 7.
I did only give you the 8. That's a cocked die. Reroll it.
That's definitely cocked.
Teaca's like, help.
Great, it's a 2 now. Fantastic. I'm so glad. I mean, she's only 3.5 feet tall, so she can barely reach the top of the desk, okay?
You walk up to the desk. Nims is looking over.
Just lift the axe on top of the desk.
Nims is looking over, and all of a sudden you just see this axe just come down the table, and you see his book and everything just kind of jump off the table. You hit it so hard. That's gonna leave a mark on my table. Sorry, is that supposed to intimidate me? Have you looked around? Do you know the people of Icewindale? They're not exactly the friendliest of sorts, and I'm used to it.
No, I wasn't trying to intimidate you. And so as he
You
realizes that
too
her
heavy for you, you just
slamming
lose
of the
track
axe
your
was
thing
just a
there.
complete utter failure. So I only placed the axe on the desk so you could use it to spread some butter on the biscuits I'm going to bring you later as a thank you for helping us to speak to Speaker Waylon.
You want to give me a persuasion check?
How many different types of checks can we get through? Okay. All right. There we go. We get a 18.
Biscuits, you say? What kind of biscuits?
Well, I was thinking that I would go by the inn and whip up some biscuits in the kitchen with, maybe flour or some cornmeal, and then I'm gonna make some nice hot steaming stew with a nice rich broth and some vegetables and some juicy chunks of meat in there, and just bring that over just a beautiful on a tray. And have a nice little lunch here. You look like you could use a good hearty meal after all this hard work you've obviously been doing.
Not very valued in my position, but there's not many that can do what I do. So, I would love a meal. You wouldn't happen to have anything to, I don't know, sweeten the deal, would you?
Sweeten, you say? Well, isn't it your lucky day? I just happen to have some, all natural clover honey that could be a nice little addition to those biscuits there.
That sounds lovely. Now, it's in fact your lucky day. Let me see. Speaker Waylon has an opening. Now, I will go in and let her know that
You were just too kind. What was your name again?
My name is Nims.
What was it?
Nims.
Nims. Nims, well, I
And
appreciate
I am
your
N.
helpfulness.
Yes, Nims.
We'll get that lunch to you just as soon as we're done talking to Speaker Wayland.
If you don't, I can make some serious trouble, but you seem like a sincere person. I can tell about these things. Alright, be right back. And as he stands up, you can see he kind of walks a little bit slower, kind of almost like he has a gimp on his left leg, and just kind of plods over to the next door, opens it up. Wait here. I'll be right back.
We'd be happy to.
Poppy snickers.
Grow up.
And he leaves you alone for a moment.
Well, thanks a lot for all the help. As he's gonna glare at Drathar.
You seem to be handling it just fine.
Handling it, I nearly broke the poor man's desk. I didn't know which route to go, aggressive or persuasive, and I ended up somewhere tumbled up in the middle like a twisted old pretzel.
Well, it probably was better you than me because I just would have used my dagger.
Well, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have minded that too much. But here we go. Who's going to help me make biscuits later? About to be elbow deep in some cornmeal.
I've never made biscuits, but I'll try.
If it was me, I would add poison to them, but that's probably why you don't want me to do it.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, Drathar.
Nims comes back through the door. Speak, Waylon. See you now. Follow me. I didn't get your names.
My
Need
name
to
is
announce
Poppy.
you.
I'm
Okay.
Poppy.
Drathar Nightshade.
As Tia, at your service, good sir.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that lunch.
You won't be disappointed.
Dreary all the time here. All right. And he takes you kind of through the door. And as you walk through the door, you see a large open area. And you kind of see where there was a display of this large figurehead of a ship. And kind of shards of this kind of shardlin crystal are spread across the ground. And you can see a huge piece of the figurehead is missing and gone. As you walk by, they kind of have some ropes up, just kind of cart around the thing, and you kind of walk from the left and kind of right, and he takes you across to the opposite end of the room from the door. And you see there's a rather kind of long-looking span that has a door at the far end of it. And he takes you to the door and motions you to halt. All right, let me know the speaker that you're here. Yes, speaker. Yes, I have a puppy, a Drathar, a sunshade, and an Estia to see you.
Shh, Drathar, don't
You
say
hear-
anything. Please don't say anything.
Thank you, Nims. Please send them in. She'll see you now.
Thank you, Nims.
When can I expect that lunch?
We'll be seeing you soon.
Okay. So and he starts walking away. You can kind of hear the shuffling as he walks with his walk. As you walk into the speaker's office, you can see it's a little different from the rest of the kind of architecture of the building. It's very kind of, stone and wood combination, but this room is almost completely wood. So it's got a very kind of a pale wood paneling all around the wall. And on each end are mounted very large kind of elk heads, kind of staring at you. And there's a series of chairs in front, 3 to be exact, of a similarly kind of light colored wooded desk. And behind that desk, you see the speaker with kind of a rather ornate lamp sitting on the corner of the desk. And she has kind of papers in front of her. She looked like she was reading some sort of book. And it has kind of a rather ornate looking kind of tapestry behind her that appears to be some type of representation of East Haven's kind of overarching kind of like top-down view, if you were to look at a map, kind of representation of the town. Yes. Nims said you had some business for me. Welcome. I'm Speaker Whalen. How can I help you?
I think SG going to elbow Drathar and be like, you take this one.
Fine. Well, we have 2 orders of business with you, Mr. Speaker Wayland.
Mr.
Mrs.
Miss.
Speaker Wayland.
I'm a miss, thank you.
I'm sorry. So first we were sent by... Now I'm pulling a blank on her name.
Imdra.
Lady Imdra.
Lady Imdra. We were sent here to talk to you about the problem you seem to be facing with something that's been stolen.
With that, she's going to give you a sharp look.
The
What have you
figurehead.
know? What do you know of the stolen figurehead?
Only
have
that
information for me?
Dwergar.
You come at a very
Take it away.
interesting time. She kind of leans in and looks at you a little bit closer. So, out with it.
Well, I wouldn't say I have any new information for you, but we were sent to help you, which we do have certain skills that would be able to help you.
I'm sure you do. Where did Indra drag you in? I haven't seen you before. We don't get many visitors in East Haven. Please tell me how you're supposed to help.
Well,
I really don't have time for this. Please hurry along.
you're right. We don't have time for this. So if you don't want help, we don't have to help you. But we were told you got robbed by some Dragar, and we can help track him down and find your precious figurehead. We were able to track down the bombers, though sadly too late since so much time has gone by. But if you want to just have your figurehead disappear, it's fine with me.
So it was you that found the bombers. Well, that explains why Imdra sent you over to me. All right. Yes, there were some Durgar spotted leaving the town hall last night with some number of bags heading to the west. But in reality, we don't know where they went. It could have all been misdirection. As you may know, there is currently a blizzard outside, destroying every bit of evidence that we would possibly have as to where they would have gone. If you are inclined to help, I would be tempted to assist you in some manner, or at least compensate you fairly well for your efforts. You said you had another piece of business for me.
Well, not quite as important as that, but we had a companion. We had a companion who I can guarantee did nothing wrong. She's been with us this whole time, and what she was accused of, she had no way of doing for various reasons, which we can't get into right now. But a bounty hunter had a wanted poster for someone that seemed to look similar and decided that just because she was a satyr he arrested her. But because of the blizzard, he had her locked up in the cell. Though I can guarantee, without a doubt, that she might have similar tendencies, but she did not do what was said.
2 days. I'll give you 2 days. Pietro is one annoying son of a bitch, but he is good at his job. And if he has your friend locked up, it's probably her. Not that I truly care. Everyone in Icewind Dale has skeletons in their closet. I mainly care about restoring this figurehead, even if it's in pieces. You see, this is a very important piece of the heritage of East Haven. Stealing this figurehead is like stealing its heart. It's fundamentally priceless. So, 2 days. I will buy you 2 days' time. If you can recover the figurehead, I will talk with Pietro about letting your friend go and making sure that he keeps his mouth shut.
Drather will kind of look to Poppy and Etzia. Does that sound good to you too?
I think it's about the best we can hope for at this moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Then I
What
believe...
about if I threw in some nice stew? Could we perhaps have 3 days time?
I can guarantee you she's a really good cook.
2 days' time. After which, your friend will need to go with Pietro. And that's that.
Deal then, but can I ask you, can you tell us anything you know about this? If how they broke in, if they took anything else, any information would help us.
Well, just because Imdra sent you and you found the bombers, it appears that there was someone on the inside that let them in. And did so in the middle of the night, though we cannot quite isolate who.
How many people would have access to be able to do that?
Unfortunately, a good number of people here.
Anyone that holds a grudge or has been acting strangely lately?
Excellent business model. Priceless figurehead, public access. I can't see why this wouldn't be a problem.
She's going to give you a very sharp look. Listen, don't press your luck. I'm telling you, we are a very close-knit community. In Icewind Dale, we have probably one of the most prosperous heritages. Part of that heritage is tied to that figurehead. That figurehead is a symbol of hope in this town. If you weren't aware, the Frostmaiden Auril has placed all of Icewind Dale under siege, and we are barely getting by. This was a rather large blow to morale that could have serious ramifications throughout all of East Haven, and if we don't recover it and recover it quickly, I fear that those people of this town will lose hope.
What could the
That's-
dwarves want with this figurehead?
I don't know. Chardolin is a very rare type of stone used for all number of things.
Well, we'll do what we can to get it back.
I don't know. I'm trying to think who would have a hand in this. And I'll give you this bit of information. The reports were not that the dwarves went west, it's that they went north. I would see if you could investigate the north end of town and see if anyone saw anything.
Wait, you said they went west.
I know. I don't want anyone knowing that we know where they went. I want them to think that they got away. Let their guard down. Buy us some more time.
Then we will get on that and start trying to find out if we can get any more leads, and hopefully within the next day or two before our friend disappears, we will come back with your figurehead.
Please do. I obviously have an internal team looking, but as it appears that there was someone on the inside, I don't know who I can trust.
Did you give him the information that the dwarves went north or west?
That is a closely knit bit of information that only my closest guard know.
Who's your closest guard?
I am not inclined to share that with you.
Can I
I've
ask
already
you for
told
one?
you more than I've told anyone else. Search the north of town, see if anyone knows anything. Ask around and see where you go.
Can I ask you for one favor in this? It won't be hard. If anyone asks you or tries to find out if we're working for you, just deny and say you sent us away. That way, that might help us catch someone unaware.
Done. I wasn't going to tell anyone anyway.
Works for me. And
If
with
that
that,
is
I
all,
believe.
I need to get back to my business.
And with that, we need to start trying to find out what we can. So have a good evening.
You as well. Happy hunting.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, hopefully I will see you soon.
Drathar
For
will
both our sakes.
start walking out.
Poppy's gonna follow him and tug on Estia.
Yeah, she's coming along. I think once they get out of earshot, Estia would kind of look at the other two and say, I mean, if you two are going to go around and start asking questions, so be it. I need to go back to the kitchen and do some baking.
That's fine with me. This is kind of something I'm good at anyway. So if you want to go bake so we can not upset Nim and make good on the deal you made with him, I think that's a good idea.
All right, Poppy, will you look out for Drathar? I think that Drathar handled that very well, but when it comes to asking the questions and getting information, don't come across too hard.
I'll do my best.
So Estia is going to head back towards the inn to see about using the kitchen for some baking.
Very nice. As you begin to leave and you walk through the door back into Nim's office, you see Nim is talking to kind of a young elf. She's about, 5'5", rather dark hair, vibrant blue eyes. And she appears to be doing some work for Nim. And Nim, Prudence, please. Please, Prudence. Yeah. Listen. That's not where that goes. I have my system. You're back. Estia, should I be expecting my lunch soon?
Well, just as soon as I can bake it and get it to you.
Prudence, did you like lunch? Prudence. Prudence kind of looks over and just looks at you and doesn't say anything. Just kind of gives you a puzzled look. How about it, Estia? Could you please bring Prudence here some food? Prudence is my associate and, well, wouldn't be awful to add one more plate, would it?
Well, I mean, if we want to add to the original deal, I'm happy to bring a plate for Prudence if you can also get a plate to our friend in the cell down below.
Not a problem.
Excellent. I'll bring the whole lot over just as quick as I can whip it up.
Sounds
She's going to turn and
lovely.
walk out before he tries to add anything else to this deal. She's calculating numbers of biscuits and how she's going to carry bowls and all of this over.
You leave the administration room, back in the main hall. You see the guards again standing. There seem to be 2 guards over there, while another one kind of seems to be rotating in and out of the admin office. As you open the door to the outside, you see white. The wind is blowing extremely powerfully. It's laced with snow and slush. As you stick your hand out, you just feel the snow covering everything, and as you pull it back and shake it off, it's just wet.
So, Drathar, how do you want to approach this?
Well, with it coming down so hard outside right now, I don't think there's much we can do, but one thing we can do is... Do you remember if there's only one tavern in the town? Or is there perhaps one somewhere in the north?
I don't remember. I just am aware of the one we've been staying at.
Drathar will go up to one of the guards then, and he'll kind of give a little bow. Excuse me, guard. I was just wondering, I know of one tavern, but by chance, is there a tavern somewhere in the north?
I mean, there is. It's not a very nice place, but for a cheap drink and some rather unsavory company, you can go to the Wet Trout, northeast end of town.
A cheap drink would probably be good to keep me a little warm at this time.
Certainly doesn't hurt, right?
Definitely does not hurt. Can you give me directions? Like, how would I find it? Because, I mean, it is kind of hard to see outside right now.
Yeah. See, you walk out this door. You're gonna take a right. You're gonna go all the way down this road here. Keep following the road until you, basically, before you hit the tree line. It's the 3rd building from the edge of the town. You'll see a big trout sign hanging out there. The White Trout.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
With that, Drathar will look towards Poppy and then start heading for the door and just kind of give her a little nod as it so she knows that he's leaving.
And Poppy's gonna follow Drathar.
Drathar will start heading towards that tavern.
Wait, how soundproof are the walls for the cell?
You're not soundproof, per se, but it's not going to be... You're not... You may be able to hear the smallest of noises, but you can give me a perception check to see how much you hear.
Instead, I'm just going to say, as you guys walk out, you hear the sound of different levels of bottles being blown on the edge and a sorrowful song being played on the beer.
Can we get a demonstration?
Oh yeah, we need that.
Yes, please.
These don't make sound, but she's going. "Woo, woo, woo," and that's all you hear, but the sound of bottles being blown on with different levels of alcohol in them.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you know.
It's lovely.
Poor Teaca.
Drathar, you and Poppy go outside and are immediately blasted with cold. It's freezing outside, and the wind is luckily at your back, but you can basically feel snow collecting over you, and kind of as it does, it falls over the front of your bodies as you trudge through this.
Drather will try to hurry as fast as he can to get to where the tavern is.
Poppy's gonna... Drathar, I understand you don't like to be touched, but can I at least grab onto your arm so we don't get separated in this?
That is fine.
Thank you.
Drathar, it takes you the better part of an hour just to make it down there in this storm. You make a couple wrong turns as the road does take you around. However, it kind of gets a little confusing towards the end. Eventually you come across this rather rundown looking single story kind of building. It's probably a good 20 feet wide, maybe 50 feet long. Big old trout stuck on the backside that faces the street. And there's a small staircase that seems to go up the left-hand side of the building. Creaks as you walk up. See a mixture of a sound of ice crunching under your feet as you do. And you get to the door. And you can see the door is just wide open.
Are there any people inside, or does it look like for some reason the place is empty and the door is just left open for some reason?
As you walk in, you hear some lively music being played. There's a fire off in the corner. There's a rather disheveled looking barkeep off to the right-hand side behind a bar that seems to be made with a series of antlers. At the far left-hand side of the tavern is a bard playing a flute.
When it happened to be Ronaldo, would it?
It would happen to be Ronaldo. And he's playing away. He's doing a pretty damn good job, too. No one seems to care, though. The rest of the people in the tavern are slumped over steins of mead, ale, looking like they're chewing on crusty pieces of bread. Rather dilapidated looking tables and chairs. It's a very weird situation. And the cold just continues to blow in behind you and Poppy with the door wide open.
After both Drathar and Poppy get in, Drathar will close the door if he can. And then he'll try to walk up to whoever seems to be the tavern owner, or at least running behind the counter. And then greet them, wait for them to acknowledge them.
Barkeep looks up and sees you try and shut the door. Drathar, you see there's a little latch. And as you kind of push the latch over to lock the door in place, the door swings wide back open as the hook doesn't seem to catch very well. And it just swings wide open and smacks you in the leg.
Oh God. Draythar
Very
just
sorry.
gonna kind of rub his leg.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It was a door. It wasn't anything dangerous, thankfully. Luckily, this fine establishment hopefully will cure that problem for me, though. Draythar will walk up, kind of limping a little bit up to the counter, and he'll just go up there. He's like, "Barkeep."
The barkeep seems to be kind of laughing at you a little bit.
Draythar is going to use his thieves' cant, so he's going to start going off, kind of like talking to the barkeep. But what he kind of wants to get across, and he's not going to be quiet about it. He's going to make it at least a little loud so people can kind of hear him. He wants to basically let it be known that
Say it.
Draythar's going to say that we're new in town. I am looking for some information. I heard that there might be some dwarves causing some trouble, and I'd like to get in touch with them. I have some skills that they might need or could use, or if anyone knows anything of the sort. And I'm looking for work.
Barkeep just kind of looks at you and looks over at Ronaldo. Hey, Ronaldo, Cannon. And all of a sudden the music stops. This barkeep is roughly like 6'3", 6'4". They are completely red-skinned with large gray horns. You're a tiefling. They're wearing rather light-looking clothing for the climate, you might say, with kind of a yellowish red tint to their eyes. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over all the racket. Ronaldo, take 5. Welcome to the Wet Trout, travelers. You must be in some serious need of help if you're here. What can I do for you? Besides get you a drink. And he kind of puts his hand out. You know,
Poppy's
starts-
gonna reach into her pocket and pull out a gold piece and put it in his hand.
Ooh. Couple drinks coming right up. And puts 2 kind of steins on the counter. Looks at the one. Looks at Poppy. Takes the cloth off his shoulder. Wipes it out for you. Fills it up. Hands it to you. Draythar just fills yours up and hands it to you. So, my name's Tazitor. I am obviously the barkeep here at the Wet Trout. Like I said, what do you need to know? Who you looking for? And why should I tell you?
Draythar will again speak in kind of thieves' cant, and he'll just tell him that, well, I am Draythar. This is my companion, Poppy. We're new in the area. We recently helped try to find the bombers and ran into some trouble, and we need some money. So I'm looking for any information that is interest. I heard that there seems to be a group of dwarves causing trouble around here. I heard they escaped somewhere to the west, possibly, and I was wondering if there's any rumors about that.
You heard that, did you? Group of dwarves. What they take these dwarves. Lots of dwarves around here. As he does that, you can see kind of people start looking around the room and kind of looking at your direction.
I wasn't told exactly what they took, just that they took something of value. Sadly, I'm just a lowly peon kind of trying to make my way here. And information is money, and any information I can gather, whether it be in a way to help me get some extra money, would be helpful. Be it a job or just any rumors you've heard.
Poppy's gonna pull out another gold piece and just set it on the bar.
Tacitur's gonna reach his hand over and slide it back. All right, now. I'm just gonna say this. One, there may have been some dwarves that came in at some time earlier today, seeming real happy with themselves. Not just any dwarves, they were Duergar. Kept a little bit of an eye on them. They seemed to head over north. The only thing north I know is from the ferry. But that's all I can tell you. It's probably your best bet if you're looking for them, but, you know, it may not be such a good idea to look for them. These are some pretty bad dudes. And, of course, you didn't hear anything from me.
Of course not.
Drather will kind of speak quietly and just still in Thieves' Cant. Can I take it then that you're kind of a person about that likes information? Likes dealing in information by chance?
Here at the Wet Trout, we like to wet whistles and definitely deal in information. You definitely have the game down, as he looks over at Poppy. Nice to have some bank with you.
Yes, it is. Then by chance, if, say we come on into, let's say, some juicy information sometime, would you be interested in it, possibly? Of course, we're not going to say that you'd have to buy it or anything, but we can see what we can deal.
Always looking for good kinds of information. In fact, he looks over at Poppy and kind of gives you the one more symbol with his hand.
Poppy will give him one more piece of gold.
All right. Just because I like the way that you think, I'm going to give you a little warning. Come here real close. And he's going to lean real in. Folk around here won't like me telling you this, but those Duergar, pretty sure they work for the Zentarum. Nasty folk, the Zentarum. Have you heard of them?
No.
Oh, come on, princess. You never heard of the Black Network?
Since Drathar lived as a street urchin and as a rogue for quite some time, do you think he could have heard about them? Because they are fairly well known.
Check.
Oh, fun. Let me actually see what my history is. Oh, okay. Ten.
You have definitely heard of the Zentarum. You know that they are typically a darker network that deals with thieves and other dark merchants. I say dark merchants, less orthodox merchants, working not only to control trade in and of itself in the areas that they operate, but also to kind of control, gain power through various political means, etc. I can see you're a man that knows what I'm talking about. Am I right?
Yes, I have heard of the Zentarum.
Well, then you know that they're not the kind of people that you want to piss off.
They are definitely a troublesome bunch at times.
Have they bothered you?
No. I'm someone that's a little bit more flexible with things like information. I like to work where it pays. That being said, I would be careful. Like I said, word of warning, if it's just you two, I wouldn't even bother. That's a recipe for disaster. Would be hate to lose such a pretty face. He looks right at Drathar.
Poppy's gonna raise her eyebrow a little bit.
Oh,
Well-
what? Sorry, princess. You thought I meant you, didn't you? Women. Anyway, that's really all I got for you. I mean, I could keep taking your money and giving you information, but it's not going to help you. So, I'm going to be nice. And just say, if you want to check out the ferry, that's probably the best place to go. If you don't find anything, I don't know, come back. I've always got something new.
Thank you for your time. I'll definitely have to make a point of coming back here.
Please do. We love it when people frequent the Wet Trout. It is the pride and joy of East Haven. Ronaldo, kick it up a notch.
With that, Drathar will kind of go and he'll try to find an open table for a moment and kind of motion Poppy over to it and sit down and take his drink with him.
Poppy'll walk with Drathar. Now
Drathar-
what?
Well, it seems that we did get a bit of information. So we might have to go see if Etsia is done with her cooking. While I wouldn't mind going and just scoping it out ourselves, it's probably better if we get Etsia and hopefully the weather will clear at least a little bit, though I hate the cold, but the snow does help me kind of blend in and hide. So that's not a bad thing for me. But it might be better if we have our companion with us. In
I
case we do
agree.
run into trouble.
I do agree with that.
That, and I think she needs to let off a little steam. She did come at that man Nims a little hard, though it did seem kind of hilarious how she did it and not effective. But
It was a little out of character for her.
glad she wasn't carrying the cauldron still. I'm afraid she would have hit him and throw him in it.
Made him the stew, right?
As you guys are
Yeah.
talking at the table, one of the patrons who was sitting a table over from you gets up and kind of happily stumbles over in your direction. Oh, well, hello, you two. You look like you're new to the Wet Trout, and I like to know everyone that comes in here. My name is Scython, but everyone here already knows that. Here, scoot over and let me grab a seat.
So ST went back to the inn.
ST, you made your way back to the White Lady Inn.
And what time of day is it now?
You guys slept in a good bit. So it's
Okay.
probably noonish, because we're going back in time a little bit for you. You guys left the courthouse between 12 and 12:30.
Okay. So she's gonna walk up to the counter and kind of look around for Bardaman, see if he's in the area.
Oh, Bardaman's always there. It's his place. Hey there, Estia.
Bardaman, I was just checking in if you already had lunch plans or if I could assist you with some cooking.
I mean, sure. What are we making?
You know what? I tell you what, Bardaman, you've been awfully kind to us, and I still feel bad about the unfortunate encounter from last night. So why don't you take a break and let me take over the cooking, and you just let me know how many people you want me to whip up some nice hearty stew for. I have a secret recipe that I might just whip out for this special occasion.
Well, I mean, we typically don't get more than 15 or 20 people for lunchtime, and seeing as we've already had half of them come through, we're not expecting another rush for, I don't know, good half hour or so is when the morning fishermen tend to come back.
Excellent. Well, you just go put your feet up or whatever it is you like to do with your time off if you get it. And
I'm just gonna sit here.
And I'll take over.
Sounds good.
So he's sitting like at the counter.
He just sits at the bar. He's the bartender. It's his establishment. It's his inn and tavern. He just sits there and mans the bar. There's a few other people in there. They're sitting there. They're eating their lunch. Seem like they have some kind of a, fish going on.
Good. So he's going to go up to the hotel room and hoist this big old cauldron up on her shoulders and carry it on down to the kitchen.
He's just gonna look at you very curiously. Do you need a hand with that? Looks a bit awkward.
I mean, I wouldn't call it cumbersome. However, I'm stronger than people give me credit for. I'll be quite all right.
Oh, all right then. Sure you don't want any help cooking? I mean, I have been known to whip something up from time to time.
You deserve us a break.
All right, you suit yourself. I'll sit right here.
So Estia's gonna haul this cauldron into the kitchen, and she's gonna leave it like on the floor and start working on the biscuits first. So she scrounges around for flour, cornmeal, whatever she can find that could work for some nice biscuits.
Absolutely. I'll say you can scrounge up some stuff to make some biscuits. That's fine.
Great. Then once the biscuits are happily baking, she's going to look around, make sure that she's not within like eyesight of anyone, and then she's gonna start to get some pitchers of water and fill up the cauldron. About halfway.
Okay.
So she's gonna fill it up halfway, which is about 15 gallons of water, and then grab a long ladle and start stirring up some stew.
As you do, just like before, the kind of magic of the cauldron takes over, and you see the stew suddenly start to...
Did I say 15 gallons?
You did.
I meant 5 gallons.
Oh, okay. That's fine. So you start spinning up your 5 gallons of water, kind of towards the bottom of the ladle there, and you notice the inside begins to bubble and simmer. And from the bottom floats up just kind of some vegetables and again some meat. And you see the water kind of change color into a kind of a nice brothy color. You start to get the that kind of nice, kind of a little bit of a hint of salt with some onion and celery and that little hint of meat in there. Beautiful stew gets cooked up.
Right. Then she's gonna, check on the biscuits. She's gonna see that they're probably not quite done yet. She's gonna dish out a bowl of the stew and bring it out to good old Bardaman. She'll set it down and say, well, this is about as good as I could come up with, but I hope you enjoy it. Care to give it a little taste test?
Bardaman looks down and he goes, that was pretty fast. You made this already?
Well, I had cooked the meat earlier.
Oh, okay. Takes the spoon. Not too hot. Savory. Not too salty. Estia, this is quite tasty.
Excellent. I'm glad
Kind of for
to
the first
approve.
time, he's going to crack you a smile. He's just going to... Thank you, Estia. This is really nice.
I think the smile would catch Estia off guard. She might get slightly flushed from too much positive attention. She's going to scurry back into the kitchen and check on the biscuits. And then she's going to package about 3, bowls of stew. Find a tray of some kind to hold them on. And then she's going to take about half of the biscuits. She made a dozen, so she's going to take 6 of them, put them in a little cloth bag. She's going to try to carry this out to the town hall.
Okay. Estia, by the time you get done baking biscuits and everything, it's probably closer to that 1 o'clock mark. And as you look outside, you can see the blizzard has died down some. It's still snowing intensely, but the wind has died down a bit, so it's much easier for you to move around. And you make your way back over to the town hall. As you walk in, you head to the administration office, and you see Nims is at one end of the counter, and Prudence is sitting there at the other.
So she'll...
Oh, Estia, you're back with lunch.
As promised. Could you clear some space on your desk so I can set this tray down?
Sure. Prudence, we're gonna need to clean up some files. I'll take this area, you take yours. He starts kind of shuffling together some papers and starts quickly filing them behind him. I think we have enough space here, thank you.
I'd like to deliver this 3rd serving down to Teaca.
Oh, yeah. Prudence, I'm sorry. With my leg and all, it's hard for me to get about. Please, escort Miss Estia here over to her friend in the jail. Prudence kind of motions for you to come over.
I think Estia would take a minute to kind of size up Prudence to see how her age and size and fitness level.
Prudence seems to be younger. You can tell that she's elvish, obviously. Nothing really did give away whether she's kind of full elf or half elf, but you can see she has, pointy ears, again, long dark hair. She's tall-ish compared to you. Seems like she has kind of a more of a meeker disposition to her.